Yeah, my father used to have fighting dogs,
Mm-hmm.
and the Sheltons used to come to my father's place,
Mm-hmm.
and I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And naturally, I was told to stay out of the way, but you know how kids are, they sneak around, listen and watch. So they would come to my dad's place.
And you're still alive.
amazing,
sir.
And they would come there to bring their dogs. And when they did, my dad had a fence, and he told them to leave their guns, and they would leave their Thompson submachine guns, this and that, on their car. And come into my dad's yard and bring their dog. And they always, Shelton always had a couple of his bodyguards
Always.
that would stand by the car
Right.
out in the road. And they bring these dogs to fight, and naturally, they would pay my father so much for coming there. And my dad had a dog, a pit bull, and he'd never been whipped.
Really?
Yeah, I never lost a fight. Well, anyway, while they were there, a number of times, now, this is what I watched. There was a couple families that were in bad need of money.
Right.
One individual, this man's wife was real sick, and one of the Shelton boys, which I was small, I didn't know from Adam from Wood, this guy handed this man some green money,
Right.
so that was bills, handed him and says, you take care of her with this. Now, they
Sure.
did. I'm not saying they were angels.
Can I say this, sir? If you look at my book on the Sheltons, you'll see all sorts of stuff in there about this. They became a family public aid department for Wayne County and for Hamilton County and for even the eastern part of Jefferson County. The Sheltons, you know, the big time gangsters in those years were very good at public relations. Like in Chicago, in the Depression, in the 30s, the Capone organization ran the best soup kitchens in Chicago. The Sheltons, there's all sorts of things in there that people would say, doing the book, they say, well, I know what you gotta write about the brothers, but dang it, you know, my great-grandpa, you know, he died in 1932, we had no money at all, the Depression was in, and didn't know what we were gonna do, and the funeral parlor operator in Fairfield came and said, you got no worries, Carl Shelton has paid for everything, he just says, just have a nice funeral. Many told me the Sheltons bought all their groceries in the Depression and so on. They would go around at Christmas time to distribute chainsaw calls and all that kind of stuff, you know. I'll tell you another story, interesting, and I got this directly from an old retired banker in Fairfield. His family controlled the bank, so at a very young age, surprisingly, he got some credit to the bank, because his dad was owner of the bank. Now,